ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So this is our fourth day of our discussion on we were discussing on about different demons that represent different anarthas in our heart. Yesterday we discussed about Arishtasura. Arishtasura was a demon that came in the form of a bull, uh, and it represents the irreligion which is going in the name of religion. So, and we also discussed that how Shyamakund and Radhakund appeared after Krishna killed Arishtasura. We also discussed that Krishna consciousness movement is the incarnation of Lord Krishna in this age. And just like Lord Krishna vanquished and killed Arishtasura, this Krishna consciousness movement will kill all the nonsense, atheistic, and uh, atheistic and sense gratificatory doctrines. So this is what we discussed yesterday, and we also discussed that Radha Kund is uh, uh, is not filled with water. It is filled with the nectar and ambrosia. It's filled with the Radharani's praying for Lord Krishna. So these were the things that we discussed yesterday, and I also narrated an instance from my life which I saw, like how our family got transformed before coming to Krishna consciousness and after coming to Krishna consciousness. So these were the topics that we discussed yesterday. So before going to Govardhan Leela, today is very auspicious Govardhan Puja. I would like to add one subtle point that I missed yesterday somehow. So many times devotees asked that what is this Radha Tattva? This is very uh, common question and important question among devotees. What exactly is Radha Tattva, or who is Srimati Radharani, and what exactly she signify? So, and if we need to, we can answer this question in different ways by telling so many pastimes between Radharani and Krishna. But then, what exactly a sadhaka has to do with this divine mother Srimati Radharani? So how can we form the answer in a very simplest way? So the simplest answer to this question can be, so as we were discussing yesterday that uh, all the philosophies in this world and all the religion in this world is focusing on sense gratification, either the gross sense gratification or the subtle sense gratification, even up to the point of liberation. Liberation is also kind of a sense gratification. When we become frustrated full trying to satisfy our senses, so then we aspire for liberation. So so all the doctrine that is going in this world today, in the name of religion, is all kind of lust, and it has nothing to do with the satisfaction of the supreme Lord Shri Krishna. It is only meant for, it looks like spiritual, it looks like religious, but it's all a religion because it has nothing to do with the pleasure of the supreme Lord. It has nothing to do with the surrender to the supreme Lord. It has nothing to do with gratifying the senses of the supreme Lord. So therefore it is all a religion which is propagated as religion. People uh, proudly identify themselves with their doctrine and their philosophy. So where Srimati Radharani, comes into the picture is the moment a living entity uh, has that aspiration that for so long I have now tried to satisfy my senses, now I must serve Krishna. Now I must try to satisfy senses of the Supreme Lord Krishna, because He is the real Bhokta, He is the real proprietor, and He is the real well-wisher. Bhoktaram, Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Suhridam Sarvabhutanam, Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. So Bhoktaram Yagyatapsam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the enjoyer, He is the proprietor, and He is the dearest friend of everyone. So when a living entity uh, aspires that for so long now I have been serving my senses, but my senses are not yet satisfied, not yet pacified, they are demanding more and more. So when a living entity aspire that now I must turn towards Krishna and now I must try to serve Krishna, so we must understand that he has received the mercy of Srimati Radharani. That means impetus to serve Krishna, impetus to please Krishna, impetus to become a devotee of Krishna is coming from Srimati Radharani. So if somebody asks us in a very simple term, what is Srimati Radharani? Srimati Radharani is the source of the impetus that I must serve Krishna. A living entity, a jiva, gets the determination to serve Krishna from the mercy and the blessings of Srimati Radharani. That is the sum and substance of Radha Tattva. Now, very interesting point I would like to make here. Um, in India, there was a very famous devotee of Lord Krishna in Rajasthan. Her name was Mirabai. So, Mirabai, you all must have heard about Mirabai. Uh, everybody have heard about Mirabai? Hmm? So, Mirabai is a very famous, very popular devotee. So now, in fact, she used to say that, my dear, she used to beg to her parents that why are you getting me married with Rana Sangha? Because Rana Sangha will die anyway, hmm, and then I'll become widow. But why don't you get me married with Krishna? And if I'll get married with Krishna, so then my suhag will become amar. My I'll remain eternally married. I'll not become widow, because Krishna's body is transcendental. He's beyond birth and death. But if you'll get me married to any mortal man, so I'll have to face. I'll have to become a widow. So that is how she used to pray. It's a very, very beautiful Rajasthani poetry. I'll just show you that uh, I have that poetry. I have I have made a collection of such poetry because sometimes it's very easy to understand things when we refer to the folk culture. Hope my screen is clear. So rather, yeah, this is, I'll show you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is a very famous poetry, small lines written by Mirabai, and I'll show you. Okay, this is another one. I'll show you. Was the sound was coming?
Hare Krishna, the sound was coming, Prabhu, but it was not clear.
Yeah, maybe because we are forecasting it. I'll just check it out. We'll try. So here she, it's a very famous poetry in Rajasthan. Rane var ra kai parni jo jalama jalama mar. Mom, why should I marry someone like Rana who will die in every lifetime? Hmm? Uh, so instead, you get me. Instead, you get me married with. I'll choose Lord Krishna as my groom, so that my bridal bangles remain eternal. So this is the poetry written by Mirabai. I request you, mom, please get me married to Lord Krishna. So, so this is a very famous and Mirabai is a very exalted devotee of Lord Krishna, and her worshipable deity is Savariya Seth. He's in Rajasthan. So it's a very beautiful deity. It's beautiful, and she got married to Rana Sangha, and eventually Rana Sangha actually gave her poison, and she took it just like Chanamrita. So Rana, this is the that is that in this line it is saying like that.
think voice is breaking.
So here he's saying that Rana sent a poison cup to Mirabai in attempt to end her life. And what Mirabai did, so forming the Chandamrit hand position, she drank the poison while chanting Lord Krishna's name, and she became eternal. So so that is the poetry. So why I am quoting Mirabai, the reason is, so in India we find there are certain songs, very popular songs. uh, like, devotees must have heard. In Hindi they used to sing like this, है ना, वो तो मीरा का भी श्याम और वो तो राधा का भी श्याम. Have you heard this song, मीरा का भी श्याम? It's of course it is not authentic song, but it's very famous. If you go to Vrindavan, they play it on DVDs, and so it's very popular song. Meera ka bhi Shyam or Radha ka bhi Shyam. That means they're comparing Mirabai with Srimati Radharani. So, so they may do it in popular media or cinema, but what exactly the tattva is? Even the Mirabai, she has this devotion to Lord Krishna. The source of that devotion is Srimati Radharani. So therefore, we need to understand this Radha Tattva. We cannot compare Mirabai with Radharani, because even if Mirabai has a devotion to Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani is the source of that devotion. What to say of Mirabai? Even the Chandravali, who is the apparent competitor in Srimati Radharani's pastime with Krishna, sometimes Krishna does not. Krishna promises Radharani that I'll come to your kunja, but then eventually he enters into Chandravali's kunja. And then what happens? And when Radharani gets to know that Krishna promised me, but he's with Chandravali, so she become very angry. And then there is Manalila. Manalila means apparently Srimati Radharani becomes very angry with Krishna, stop talking with him, and then Krishna has to come, and then Krishna has to request the Sakhis of Srimati Radharani, Vishakha Sakhi, Lalita Sakhi, kindly allow me to meet Radharani. But they say, no, 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 we cannot allow you to meet Radharani. Radharani is very upset with you, and you may get lost. She doesn't want to see your face. And then Krishna perform different pastimes, like Krishna takes he becomes a sannyasi and he enters into Radharani's kunja. So like this, different pastimes are being taken care. So this Chandravali, who is an apparent competitor in Srimati Radharani's Leela, so her devotion, the source of her devotion is also Srimati Radharani. So we need to understand that Radha Tattva is not just, although Radharani is personified as the um, what we call the counterpart of Lord Krishna, but actually she is the source of devotion to Lord Krishna. So any devotee, he may be a devotee. That means the Antaranga Shakti, the internal potency, is the cause of devotion. So we can simply relate the external energy, the external potency is the cause of sense gratification. If I am having this impetus that I must satisfy my senses, so that means I am under the influence of external energy. And if I have this impetus that I must serve Krishna, I am under the divine energy. Mahatma namastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita. Those who are Mahatma, so they are under Daivi Prakriti. They are under the shelter of Daivi Prakriti, Antaranga Shakti, Srimati Radharani's protection. And then what is their activity? Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. That is what Lord Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. So if somebody asks us that what exactly this Radha Tattva is, simple answer is the Radha Tattva is a devote, any living entity when he gets the impetus to serve Krishna, to become a devotee of Krishna, to to please Krishna. So that impetus is coming from the source called Srimati Radharani. So this point I actually had to add, I couldn't add it yesterday, so it was in my mind, so I added it up. So today is Govardhan Puja, and it's a very auspicious day. And Govardhan Puja, Govardhana means go means cows, and Vardhana means to increase. So Lord Krishna performed a very special pastime. Any pastime that Lord Krishna perform has a different angle of visions with which we need to see that pastime. So this even this Govardhan Puja has different angles of vision that we can try to understand this Govardhan pastime from different versions. So, as we all know that this past time, Lord Krishna was in his village, and he was observing that all the Brajvasis are preparing for some kind of puja, and he inquired Nanda Maharaj that Nanda Maharaj, what everybody is preparing for, what is going on, you must tell me. And Lord Krishna gave a very what we call correct arguments. He said that you may hide someone who is not favorable or who is inimical to you, or who may be neutral, but I am your well wisher, I am your son. Why are you hiding from me? You must tell me that what exactly the things are going on, and you must also tell me, because after you I have to carry forward all these rituals that you are conducting. So Nanda Maharaj thought that Krishna has become very mature, how maturely he is talking. And then Nanda Maharaj started to explain that we are doing Indra Puja, and these all this paraphernalia is being prepared for Indra Puja like this. So Lord Krishna asked that, you know, the puja that you're performing, is it customary, like kind of it's a ritual based on the ordinary customs, the family tradition, the village traditions, or it is based on Shastra? So like this, he was asking so many intelligent questions. And the Maharaj said, see, my father used to do, his father used to do, his father used to do. So we were doing it for generations now. And Lord Krishna said, why are we worshipping Indra? So Nanda Maharaj said that Indra provides rain, and we are farmers. We are caretaker of cows, and cow requires grass, and grass grows because of rain. So therefore, it's our duty, it's customary to offer our obligations and our gratitude to Indra. So, in one sense, this is true, is it not? This is good. Is it not? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself says that men should perform their duties toward gods, and in that sense, gods will provide, the demigods will provide um, rain and other facilities, and this is how the human society will flourish. So it's a cycle. We perform yajna to satisfy the demigods, and demigods provide us with the necessities of life, and this is how the cycle goes on. Yajna, and when someone performs yajna, and that yajna leads to rain, so that and rain is the most important aspect in sustenance of all the living entities. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is actually propagating this philosophy that one must satisfy demigod. In the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he said that Lord Vishnu created the entire cosmos, and then he set forth that living entities, the jiva, the human beings, and the demigod, they should work cooperatively. And uh, human beings are performing yajna, and human beings are performing yajna, and animals, demigods provide rain, and this is how everybody gets sustained. So this is the philosophy that was propagated by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Now, here in this particular pastime, Lord Krishna is eh, Krishna is speaking very opposite way, in a very opposite way. Krishna is saying that why we need to worship Indra, because anyways Indra is doing his duty, and he is already being kept by the Lord for for this work. And he Krishna gave that said that during in ocean and seas nobody's performing Indra puja, but then Indra is providing them rain there also. So uh, so so why should we perform Indra? I mean, why should we perform Indra puja? uh, and just a minute, yeah, just a minute, yeah. So why we should perform Indra puja, like this Krishna was advocating. And the philosophy of karma mimamsa, what exactly this philosophy of karma mimamsa is? The philosophy of karma mimamsa says that everything depends upon our karma. Even the demigods have no authority. They are simply the rewarder. They simply reward us our karma, that's all, nothing more. If I have done good karma, they are bound to give me good results. If I have performed bad karma, they are bound to give me bad results. So they are not in authority. They are simply the reflectors of our karma. So why should I worship Indra? So and it appears as if this philosophy is very correct, and to some extent it is correct. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very beautiful Nanda Maharaj is comparing demigods and sadhu. He says that demigods give results as per the karma, but sadhu do not see your karma. They give unlimited blessings. So this comparison is being made by Nanda Maharaj, by Vasudev, in glory during when he was glorifying Narad Muni in Dwaraka. So this particular shloka is there in 11th canto. So he's making comparison between demigods and the sages. The sadhus, their blessings are unlimited, and to get blessings of sadhu, you may not have any previous good karma. But demigods will only reward you when you have they will reward you only according to your karma. They'll simply reciprocate. So Krishna is saying, so ultimately we are being rewarded by our own karma. Why should I worship Indra? So recent like we were in Guangzhou, so I was casually asking one lady that do Chinese people believe in God? So she said a very good point. She said, I am young and my goal is to earn more and more money, and I don't care about God, because I don't believe in God. I believe in myself. So, and if I'll work hard, I'll be paid more and I'll enjoy life. So so um, uh, this is what that lady told me. And then and then she said that what is the need of believing in God? Ultimately, it's all our karma is being rewarded. So they do believe in the philosophy of karma, and but they do not believe in God. Uh, so so when we were having this kind of discussion, so I told her, okay, I gave her an example. I said that see, for example, if a farmer, he sows a seed, and seed germinates into a plant, and we get fruits. So just a minute. But what is the guarantee that we'll get good fruit? Hmm? Because you may sow the seed, you may put water, you may put give fertilizers, but ultimately you'll get good fruits or not, depend upon what factors. And then there was an old lady standing next to this young lady. She was also Chinese. And then she said, it all depends upon, like this, she raised her finger. It all depends upon. So that means even the Chinese people, although they are atheistic, but they also have some notion of God. So why I'm saying this? Because there has to be a balance of understanding. People say that these, followers of Sanatan Dharma or Hindu Dharma are Bhagyavadi. They always depend upon destiny. But the fact is very different. Chanakya Pandit says, Udyamen hi siddhyanti karyani na manorathe nahi suptasya singhasya praveshanti mukhe mrigaha. Udyamen hi siddhyanti karyani na manorathe. One has to do some hard work to get things done. One has to do some hard work. Udyam means one has to be industrious. One has to work hard to get things done. Karyani na manorathe. Simply by dreaming one cannot achieve results. Nahi suptasya singhasya praveshanti mukhe mrigaha. It's not like that a lion is sleeping and a deer will enter into his mouth. It's not like that. One has to work hard. Even to get food, lion has to work hard, although he is the king of jungle. So that means our philosophy does not advocate that destiny is everything. But at the same time, our philosophy does not say the karma is everything, because a farmer may sow the seed, but the germination power in the seed comes from nature. The sunlight, the moonlight, and the air, the water, it's all provided by God. A farmer can only sow a seed, and therefore Bhagavad Gita clearly explains in the 18th chapter that our action is just the 20%. There are 80% other factors that culminates into a result. So if somebody is saying, I say, for example, people say, I worked hard, I achieved such position, and where is God in the picture? People say like this. So then we need to tell them, see, God is there in the picture. Because if you say that you worked hard and you got the result, from where you got the brain with which you thought, and and from where you got these hands and legs, and you're sustaining on oxygen and sunlight and food. So from where are you are receiving all these things? A farmer is sowing a seed and he's getting the result. But where he's sowing the seed? On the land. So land belongs to whom? It belongs to Lakshmipati. So we need to tell people that your understanding that only karma gives the result, it's very foolish. Motivational speakers speak like this, do your karma, you'll get all the results. Fine. But karma is just the 20% of the entire. If our results are not just coming from karma, it has multiple factors involved. An ultimate factor is the sanctioning by the Lord. If Lord does not sanction, then what our karma will do? Say, for example, when a doctor gives medicine, he says, okay, I have now given you the medicine. Whether this medicine will work or not, it all depends upon God. And why doctors wants to shed off their responsibility and hand over their responsibility to God? Because if they will take uh, uh, all the credit of curing a patient, so they will also have to take the discredit of killing a patient. And they must then go to jail also. If Because if they're treating 100 patients, at least 5 will die. So if you say that these 95 people cured by me, I am the cause uh, of their curing. So that means you must be the cause of killing 5, and then you must go to jail. So the point is, doctor can only give the medicine. Of course, he holds the responsibility of giving right medicine. But uh, whether the medicine will act or not, it depends upon the ultimate sanctioning authority, Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. That is what Prahlad Maharaj says in Bhagavatam praise. Neha, he says that Balasya Neha Sharanam Pitra Narsingha Nartas Chagdam Udarmati Majjato now. He says that uh, that a patient is only being like a physician can only give a medicine, but this medicine will act or not, it depends upon the ultimate sanctioning authority, which is God. So yes, we believe in God, at the same time we believe in karma, and therefore our philosophy is do your best and leave rest on Krishna. So that is our philosophy. So we are not only bhagyavadis as some people proclaim, hmm, like the philosophers like Osho Rajneesh and Acharya Prashant. So they all condemned and they all backbite our philosophy, saying that we are all bhagyavadis, the Hindus are bhagyavadis. The fact is, we are not bhagyavadis because our Acharya Chanakya Pandit said that Udyamini Siddhanti. At the same time, we are not like karma, the followers of Karma Mimamsa, those who are atheistic. This Karma Mimamsa is atheistic. Uh, Charvak and other philosophers who advocate this Karma Mimamsa philosophy, they say just do your karma and you'll get the result. It has nothing to do with your, there is no question of your destiny. Um, but we do not believe in those terms also, because we know that I may perform certain karma, but will I, if I'll get, the results and sensing authority is not in my hands, it's with Krishna. And we can directly disprove also, because we can say if karma is everything, then a coolie and a labor is working harder than Ambani's, so why is not becoming Ambani if karma is everything? So karma and destiny, these are two things that has to be balanced. So if somebody is propagating destiny, we need to halt him and tell him no, karma also exists. And if somebody is simply telling karma is everything, then we have to halt him and tell him no, destiny is also there, and ultimately Lord is the sanctioning authority. So our philosophy teaches balance. So Lord Krishna, he taught in Bhagavad Gita this the philosophy of balance. He said that yes, you do your work and demigods will do their work, and this is how, by the collaboration and by the cooperation between the two, both will flourish and people will be happy and satisfied. But here in this particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is completely advocating the Karma Mimamsa philosophy, because his intention is not to propagate the Karma Mimamsa philosophy. His intention is to stop Indra worship. And why he wants to stop Indra worship? Because Indra has become arrogant and proud. So therefore, on the pretext of convincing Nanda Maharaj and other Brajvasis the Karma Mimamsa theory, Krishna is actually stopping Indra worship, and that was his. So therefore, we cannot take, because if we'll read those passages in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, and then he's completely explaining the Karma Mimamsa theory. So we may get bewildered why Krishna is speaking like this, because we need to understand that Krishna is ironically, or on the pretext of Karma Mimamsa theory, his intention is different. So therefore we cannot take Krishna's words as the final philosophy which Krishna is propagating to Nanda Maharaj. So we need to, therefore it is said, Jao Bhagavad Paro Vaishnavera Sthane Ekanta Ashray Karo Chaitanya Charane. One must read Bhagavatam under the shelter of Vaishnava. Otherwise, if we'll independently read Bhagavatam, and such conclusions will appear very contradictory. And therefore, we must approach devotees, and under their shelter, we must try to understand these concepts of Bhagavatam. So now what Lord Krishna said, that we don't, why we should waste our energy and time with this Indra worship. Rather we must worship Govardhana. And why we must worship Govardhana? Because Govardhana is actually supplying all the necessities required for the sustenance of cows. And we are Gopas, we are all dependent upon cows. So ultimately, in this particular pastime, the first thing that Krishna had to do was to stop Indra worships, because Indra was becoming very unnecessarily very puffed up and proud. Another thing that Krishna wanted was to glorify Govardhana, who is non-different from himself. Govardhana is non-different from Krishna. At the same time, he is a devotee of Krishna. This is Achinta Bheda Ved. He is Krishna himself. At the same time, he is devotee of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, the word is used Haridas Varya, Haridas. So for three devotees, this Haridas word is used in Bhagavatam. Haridas is used for Uddhava, Haridas is used for Yudhishthira, and Haridas is used for Giriraj Govardhan. So he is Krishna himself, at the same time is devotee of Krishna Giriraj. Haridas Varya. And why he's a devotee of Krishna? Because he's providing all the necessities required for Krishna's pastimes. He is providing the soft surface where Krishna can move and play with his friends, and he can perform different pastime with gopis. He is providing different caves, and where Krishna can play hide and seek with his friends, and he's providing different flower, and it is Govardhan is filled with different flowers and fruit bearing trees, so that Krishna and his friends can enjoy. And he's providing grass for Krishna's cows, and he's providing sweet water for them to drink and bath and rejuvenate. So in this way, Govardhana is providing different paraphernalia for Krishna's pastimes, and he therefore is Haridas Varya. And now Krishna had to satisfy Govardhan also. So now Krishna has to curb the pride of Indra. He has to satisfy Govardhana. He has to satisfy the Gopas, because in the morning time the gopis become morose, because now Krishna will leave them. Krishna will leave the site of Rasalila, and he will go back to his home, and then will go back, go for herding the cows with his friends. And the evening the Gopas become morose, because now they will have to leave the company of Krishna. So like this, they all had the desire that Lord Krishna uh, should be with them for 24 hours. But they were not getting this opportunity, so now Krishna had to satisfy his Gopa friends also and his gopis also. So we can see in one single pastime, he's accomplishing so many different activities. So when Indra became so much, and why Indra became proud? So we need to understand Indra became proud because of his material riches and material opulences. And this is the nature of material riches and material opulences, that one becomes proud, one becomes madandha, so there are different types of andha. Andha means blind. Someone becomes dhanandha, someone becomes blind because of having wealth. Someone becomes blind because of having aristocratic birth, janmandha. Someone becomes blind when because of the material education, even the shastric education. So these are different kind of andha. So Indra also became andha because of his material prosperity and opulence and position. So Kunti Maharani says, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edhan Madha Puman Na Evarti Abhidhatnu Vaisa. So it said that if somebody has taken birth in a rich family, Janma Aishwarya, he has Aishwarya, wealth, riches, and he's very much learned, and he's very, bodily features are very attractive. So one tends to become proud. And these are all the disqualification in calling Krishna. On the contrary, in the eighth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a very beautiful verse I would like to share. It says that Janma, Karma, Vayo, Rupa. It's a very beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam 8th canto. It is saying that J- Janma, Karma, Vayo, Rupa, Vidya, Aishwarya, Dhanadibhi. यदि अस्य न भवेत् स्तम्भस्तत्रायं मद अनुग्रह. It said Janma, Karma, Vayo, Rupa. Somebody may have taken birth in a rich family, Janma, and his activities are very wonderful activities, pious activities, and marvelous activities. The person is performing, dynamic in his portfolio. And Vayo, it's youth, and he's capable of doing many, many things. And his by personal beauty is very attractive. And Vidya, his great knowledge, education is very high, opulence, Aishwarya, Dhan, and different kind of opulence, including Dhana, Adi, Bihi, Dhan, and etc. If somebody have all these qualification, but after having all these things, even if he's not Stamba means he doesn't have pride. That means one must understand that he's specially favored by the Lord. So even after having all these qualities and attributes, and if somebody is free from false pride, one must understand that he has received the special mercy of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, by nature, these things make a person blind. So Indra became blind because of his opulences, and now Krishna had to teach him a lesson. It is said that Lord Krishna can tolerate any quality in his devotee, any disqualification of his devotee, but one thing he never tolerates, and that is false pride. That is the we can see in Rasalila pastime also, when the gopis became little proud, Krishna is giving me special attention, Krishna is giving us special attention, Krishna disappeared immediately from that side, because Krishna can tolerate everything, but he cannot tolerate false pride in the heart of his devotees. And Indra is also a karma mishra bhakta. He may not be a pure devotee, but he is a devotee to some extent. He's a mixed devotee, karma mishra bhakta. He is mixed with the fruitive desires. But anyway, he is a devotee to some extent, and Krishna wanted to curb his false pride. So Krishna uh, performed this Govardhana pastime. Now there is a very beautiful chapter in in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Srila Srila Vallabhacharya was chastised by Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this context was that Lord Srila Vallabhacharya, he wrote a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam called Subodhani Tika. And and he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with some amount of, or we may say great amount of pride in his heart, that Chaitanya, and he was telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I have written this very nice commentary. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma, he can immediately guess, he immediately understood that Vallabhacharya, Vallabha Bhatta, so he is coming with the great pride that I am such a scholarly person that I have written a very wonderful commentary. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I do not read commentaries. I'm not interested in commentaries. You know why? Because I'm not that qualified that I'll be able to understand the commentaries, these scholarly things. So I can only chant Hare Krishna. I can only chant the Lord's name. So Vallabhacharya said, okay, then I have written a commentary on Lord's name also. At least you can read that, and you can appreciate me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I know only Shyama Sundar and Yashoda Nandan. That is the meaning of Krishna. I don't know any other meaning. I don't know. I am not interested in any other meaning as well. So Vallabhacharya was thinking, earlier when I met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayag, so he was very respectful towards me, and he was dealing with nice, great care and reverence, and he was giving me a lot of attention. But why is he behaving like this? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to curb the pride that was in the heart of Vallabhacharya. And so Vallabhacharya was trying to prove that my commentary is so nice that even he's up to the extent he said that Sridhar Swami, who is the original commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, so Vallabhacharya said that my commentary is even better than Sridhar Swami's commentary, because there are some irregularities in Sridhar Swami's commentary, but my commentary is perfect, and I don't accept Sridhar Swami. So the moment he said that I do not accept Sridhar Swami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very grave, and he said, who doesn't accept a Swami is just like a prostitute. And then he became very grave, and the entire assembly became silent. And then Vallabhacharya actually realized that he made a big mistake by offending Sridhar Swami. He is the original commentator. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has no issues if you write a commentary on Bhagavatam following the footsteps of previous acharyas in great humility. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is always telling that, I am writing this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Don't think that this literature is better than Vrindavan Das Thakur Chaitanya Bhagavat. It is not better than Chaitanya Bhagavat. It is Vrindavan Das Thakur is the original composer of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and whatever he has left, I am simply touching those points. He is actually relishing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and whatever is left out, I am the remnants. I am simply honoring those remnants. That's all. Don't think that I am a big scholar. I am a big writer. I am better than. If you'll think so, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is warning is giving warning to the readers that you never think that I am better writer than Chaitanya Vrindavan Das Thakur, because this will create a big what we call offense onto the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had no issues if Vallabhacharya would have written the commentary following and giving great respect to previous acharyas. The moment he tend to become proud, and the moment he tend to become as if I am better than others, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had significant problems. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to curb the pride of Vallabhacharya. Now, Sridhar Swami has given a very beautiful understanding about the Govardhan pastime. So we can see, we can connect the dots. So Sridhar Swami has said, he has asked a very genuine question, that why Lord Krishna is actually lifting Govardhan mountain. You know, what exactly the reason is, and that too with his left hand, with his leftist smallest finger. So one reason is, of course, because he needs to curb the pride of Indra, and that's true. That's true. But the point is, why holding the mountain? Uh, he could have done it through another means also. And then Srila Swami explains a very nice thing. So, as per the codes of Mahabharata, say for example, if somebody is riding on a horse, he can only fight with another horse rider. If somebody is riding an elephant, he can only fight with another elephant rider. If somebody is fighting with a bow and arrow, he can only fight with someone else who is fighting with bow and arrow. If somebody is fighting with a sword, he can only fight with someone else who is fighting with sword. If somebody is fighting with bhala, and he can only fight with someone who is fighting with bhala. So if somebody is bare hand, he can only fight with someone who is bare hand. And then it has to be in the equal level. So these are the codes of fighting which has been laid down in Mahabharata. So now, so now, so so why Lord Krishna is lifting the great mountain Govardhana? Because Indra has also lifted a great mountain of pride. So now Krishna has to combat Indra. So because Indra has lifted the great mountain of pride, so Krishna has to lift a great mountain of great mountain, so that there must be some kind of equality and equanimity. So so that is uh, that is why Krishna is holding Govardhana. And when Krishna holded Govardhana, so at that time, Indra was for 7 days and 7 nights, he was constantly tormenting and sending thunderbolts, and torments of rains were coming. But all the Brajvasis were comfortably situated inside the shelter of Govardhana. Now another thing is very interesting. Govardhana is not as big as the Brajvasi community. So how could the entire Brajvasi community could take shelter of Govardhana? It was there, millions of people were there, millions of devotees were there. So the answer, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that because Govardhana became ecstatic by the touch of the lotus finger of Lord Krishna, and because of his ecstasy, he expanded. He expanded so much so that he could give shelter to the entire Brajvasi community. And when Lord Krishna was holding Govardhana mountain, so all the Brajvasis were constantly seeing the lotus face of Lord Krishna. The Gopas were seeing the lotus face of Krishna, and Gopis were seeing the lotus face of Krishna, and Krishna was similarly reciprocating with all the devotees. So 24/7, the 24/7 attention, reciprocation was going on. And so Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami writes that just like Lord Krishna curbed the pride of Indra by lifting the Govardhan mountain, similarly Shriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu curbed the pride of Vallabhacharya, who became unnecessarily proud because of his scholarship. So now, so we can see that from single pastime, how Lord Krishna is not only curbing the pride of Indra, but also reciprocating with all the Brajvasi community and devotees, and giving personal attention to each and every one of them. So, and this is what the Brajavasis had desired, because the Gopas used to become, they used to think that now Krishna will separate in the evening time, and the Gopis used to feel Moros, because Krishna is being separated in the morning time, so they want the constant association of Krishna 24/7, and Krishna granted that. So this was the and there is very another interesting phenomena to note, that when Krishna was lifting the Govardhan mountain, the Brajvasis, so they felt that, Krishna is. They never thought that Krishna is God. They always thought that Krishna must be empowered by some demigod, some great supernatural power and forces acting behind him, and therefore Krishna is able to do such Herculean task. Otherwise, Krishna is just like, it's our pet child. And they all said, Krishna, you must have got tired, so we can help you lifting the Govardhan mountain. So they all with their sticks tried to support Govardhana, and said, Krishna, why don't you take some rest? Krishna said, do you really want me to take rest? So they said, yes, kindly take some rest. So and Krishna said, fine, if you're telling, so I can take some rest. So Krishna, little bit, he removed his finger, and by the pressure of the Govardhan mountain, all the sticks got broken. So the interesting thing to note here is, that it's like, the Krishna, although is the Supreme Lord, but in Vrindavan, nobody accept him as Supreme Lord. So, why is it so? Because, in what we call uh, in Vaikuntha, Krishna becomes sometime very dissatisfied. He says that, everybody is offering prayers and offering obeisances, and so Krishna doesn't like that. In fact, that he wants that someone should treat me like their pet child, someone should fight with me, someone should, play with me. But Krishna is not getting that kind of response in Vaikuntha, because everyone is, serving with great honor and respect. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is relishing that particular instinct. Uh, and therefore, Krishna he feel very uncomfortable in Vaikuntha, and he always want to stay in Braja. I don't know whether I have shared this particular video, because I can show you one video where, this particular kind of instinct is shown by someone who is a big personality from material point of view, but they are aspiring that someone should, play with me, or someone should, call me with, my childhood names. Have I shared this video? I'll just show you. uh, I- it's a very interesting thing to note, because one pastime of Lord Krishna can show us. Yeah, just a minute. I simply forget that what name. Just a minute. I'll take 1 minute. I'll show a very interesting video. Yeah. So is it visible? Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. Kindly try to understand what exactly is happening here in this video.
He said to me, hey, and they all call me Mr. President. I have friends that for 35 years, hey, Don, how you doing? Hey, Donnie, I love you, Donnie. For 35 years now, they call me Mr. President, sir. How are you? I have a friend, very rich guy, Richard Lefrak in New York, builder, good builder. He calls me all my life. Hey, Don, how you doing? I've known this guy from kindergarten. It's true. Hi, Don, how you doing? How's everything? Now, I got a call the other day. Mr. President, how are you, sir? How are you? I said, Richard, lighten up. Lighten up. Call me Donald. Richard, call me Donald. You've known me for, I don't want to say because I don't want my wife to hear the number. It's true. Actually, that's true. Richard came up. He said, I've known your husband for 65 years. I said, don't say. I say 20, 25, 30. Don't say 65 years. But I said, Richard, call me Donald like you always do. Call me Don. Okay, Don. Okay. Gets his breath. 2 minutes later, Mr. President. But maybe that's a good thing. That's called respect for the office, right? Maybe that's.
So, was the video clear?
Yes, we understood the context.
Yeah. So we can well imagine, like in Vaikuntha, Krishna is, he's always getting such respect. He's not getting that kind of Lord Vishnu is not getting such kind of, somebody should call him with, as a friend, as a lover. So he's always aspire for that. So even when Lord Krishna, in his in his Vrindavan pastime, even when Lord Krishna shows certain pastimes like this, where he is lifting Govardhan mountain, but nobody takes him very seriously. Everybody's thinking, okay, if even if he's doing something great, so what is big about it? He must be blessed by some supernatural power. That's all. But he is nothing but our pet child. So that why is it so? Because Krishna's Madhurya is overpowering his Aishwarya in Braja, and therefore devotees do not want to go to Vaikuntha leaving aside Braja. They always want to stay in Braj Bhumi Vrindavan. Even the Gop Kumar, when he went to Vaikuntha, he was feeling, although Lakshmi Devi was there and Lord Narayana was there, and there were Vishnu Parshadas who had four-handed form. They even offered him the Gopkumar, for now you're staying here for so many days. Why don't you accept four-handed Vishnu Parshad form? But Gopkumar always used to hanker and think about his. So when once Narad Muni reached there and said, Gopkumar, you are in Vaikuntha, still you are not happy. So Gop Kumar said, I am missing Govardhana, I am missing Braj Bhumi, I am missing Krishna. I am missing everything. In fact, once Lord Krishna took all the Brajvasis on the Vaikuntha tour, and when Lord Krishna took everyone for the Vaikuntha tour, so everybody was like, amazed to see, these are Vaikuntha gates and Vaikuntha Parshad, and opulence, and everywhere everything was so nicely made of gold and jewels and everything, and everybody liked it very much. So Krishna said, how did you like it? Friends said, wow, very nice, very nice. So then Krishna gave them a surprise. You all like this very much? Yeah, it's very nice. The Vaikuntha is very beautiful. So Krishna said, okay, so now from now onwards you'll stay always in Vaikuntha. And the moment they heard this, oh my God, they started to cry pitiably. It was a very dense, stressful moment for all of them. Krishna, we like Vaikuntha, we love, we appreciate Vaikuntha, it's fine, but we don't want to stay here. We want to go back to Brajbhumi and we want to just play with you there. We have nothing to do here. So this is what the entire story of Gop Kumar and Brihad Bhagavatamritam is expressing, that even if the Gaudiya Vaishnava, the follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with that purpose. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Krishna thought sitting in spiritual world, he said that everybody is worshipping with me with awe and reverence and with different paraphernalia, but they are not becoming attached to me like Brajavasis. So therefore, I must go there, go to these earthly planets, and I must give them the way by which they can attain Braja Bhakti. So Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came for that purpose. So therefore, when it is said that even if the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even if they'll go to Vaikuntha, they'll not become happy there, because they'll miss Vrindavan, they'll miss Giriraj Govardhan, they'll miss Krishna's intimate, pastimes. So therefore, that is the aspiration of um, what we call the Gaudiya Vaishnava, that we will never be satisfied with even Vaikuntha. We are always aspiring for the He Radhe Brajadevi ke Chalalit He Nand Suno Kutaha Shri Govardhan Kalp Padap Tale Kalindi Vanya Kutha. So Govardhan Kalp Padap and the banks of Kalindi. That is our aspiration. So this Govardhan pastime reminds us of so many intricacies and we can speak a lot more about Govardhan Pastime, but I would like to end now. Time is already up, but I would share one small video. It's on available on internet. I'll just share because it's very important. It was recently, it became very famous. Um, it Raj, here. Is my screen visible? So yeah. So this is a it became very famous. This song became very
如果有得揀，
famous.
你會揀喺 Amazon 用35蚊買呢個鞋墊，定係用唔夠4蚊喺阿里巴巴？
Is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So it became very famous during Govardhan Parikrama. Someone must have recorded this Vaishnava singing a very nice bhajan, but it resonates with our philosophy very much. So I'll just play it for you all of your pleasure. Is the volume clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. He's saying, I want to eternally stay in Giriraj and Braj Taj Vaikuntha na jaun. After giving up Braja, I don't want to go to even Vaikuntha. So that is the theme of this song.
कुंडन में करु स्नान करु जलपान करो ब्रज में परो जन्म तो कछु मिले प्रसाद पाए के गुनेगा तज तज में न जाऊं तुझे पा तज तज में न जाऊं तज तज में न जाऊं पश्चिम में नहीं कदमन में वास करई चाहिए अरुणा करके को कहियो आनर घंटन की फोर करू सुन तोर सत्संगन के हारे मन मुकट संगन के नेत्र सुफल हो जवई करु दर्शन निज ये हर तज तज बैठ न जा तज तज बैठ न जा.
हरे कृष्णा. गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So any questions, comments? Hare Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Very nice meditation of Giriraj today. Very nice.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was nice.
So you'll be celebrating
Pastime.
Govardhan Puja there?
We celebrated Sunday, Prabhu.
Okay. So we are here
The
in
last
we are in Hong Kong, and devotees are celebrating beautiful Giriraj. Yeah. Devotees are celebrating Giriraj Puja here. Many Chinese devotees are here. They made a very beautiful Govardhan.
So wonderful to hear, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you, bros. Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpataruvishya kripa sindhu bhayavacha pati pavanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo. His grace. Tukaram Prabhu ki jai.